Hey guys, so I do have a little bit of another follow-up prodigal video. I've just been having some more thoughts, revelations, whatnot, and I feel like I got a really good insight just for myself, so I wanted to share it if it encourages you guys. I'm just gonna start off from reading it, and then I'll just like kind of share how it ties into if you're standing for a prodigal, be it your spouse or son, daughter, friend, whatever, someone that you want to come to Jesus. So I read this earlier this week. It's actually in Numbers 15, verse 8 through 12. Oh, that's my dog again. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, I'm just gonna start letting him in before I start the video. That's Coco. Anyways, so basically I'll just give context. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but the context is just basically that Moses and the Levites, which the Levites were a group of people that were set apart to specifically serve God. And it was a great honor, and they just kind of got fed up with the season and fed up with Moses, and they felt like Moses was just doing them in and like out to get them and out to destroy them and whatnot. And so they had gotten like a couple hundred people together to basically revolt against Moses. So that's where the story picks up. So they just say, this is Moses talking to the Levites. He says, "Now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that the God of Israel has separated you from the rest of the Israelite community and brought you near himself to do the work at the Lord's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too. It is against the Lord that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him?" And then they answer with this. They just say, Moses was basically saying, let's go have a standoff to God and see like who's right. So the Levites respond, "We will not come. Isn't it enough that you had brought us up out of a land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert? And now you also want to lord it over us. Moreover, you haven't brought us into a land flowing with milk and honey or given us an inheritance of fields and vineyards." Then, and then that's it. And then they just say, "No, we will not come." So 2 points that kind of stood out to me. I have 3 points that I want to just kind of share with you if you are in the middle of a valley. It could be long. Mine's going on 2.5 years. It could be short. I don't know. Everyone's season is different. But one was that a lot of times when God has called us out of something and he's calling us into something, there is this like in between. And a lot of times 2 things can happen in that in between. One is we can look back at where God called us out from, and we begin to romanticize whatever that season was, and we forget why God called us out. So like, for instance, in this story, the Levites looked back at being in Egypt, and now it was no longer a place of slavery. It was a place of, flowing with milk and honey, and they had changed in their mind to make them even more dissatisfied with this in between. So, that spoke to me because I am not the person that was called out 2.5 years ago, and I am thankful that God has allowed all of these things to shape me and better actually my life, better me. It hasn't always felt great, but I am in a better place. And so I need to be careful about looking back and being frustrated that I'm not back where I was, because ideally, if I really think about it, I wasn't at my best and I wasn't happy then and whatnot. And the other thing that we can do is there in this in between, we can start to wonder, are you actually you promised me this, are you ever going to do whatever this is? Now, of course, I'm speaking from a place of, desiring a restored marriage. For you, it could be anything. You could be watching this video for any reason, and it could be just something that you've asked God for and you have felt like God has said he's going to do it and he's just not doing it. And so I just wanted to encourage all of my fellow standers that are standing for your marriage or for a prodigal, don't get frustrated with that in between. And I'm speaking to myself because we think it should have been done yesterday. It should have been done weeks ago, months ago, years ago. Why, if you are truly going to do what you said, why am I not there yet? And if I'm not there yet, then I'm going to go backwards, and I'm going to go back to what was comfortable, back to taking control of things, back to whatever it is that God has taken you out of. You are now going, I don't like this in between, so I'm going to either, I don't trust you that you're taking me forward, you're not going to give me what you promised, so I'm going to go back. So I just wanted to encourage you that, and myself, that this in-between season where we can't go back, we really shouldn't go back, because God has called us out for a purpose, and he's going to do what he has promised us. He is going to complete that promise, and the in-between is actually shaping us and molding us. And I love that Moses tells them, why are you mad? Like, God has set you apart. Like, God has called you to do something that he hasn't called other people to do. And so, speaking as a fellow prodigal wife, like, I look at other people and I just think not everyone could answer this call. Not everyone could have their marriage attacked and even get actually divorced and still continue choosing to trust God and pray and stand and love a spouse that may never love you back, that may never return anything, and you just stand in the gap interceding for their salvation, for their life, and standing for the vows that you made. And so I think, first of all, we are an elite group of people that God is calling. He's gathering an army of people to say, marriage is under attack. Will you be part of this elite group that will fight for marriage and fight for your spouse even when your spouse no longer wants to be fought for? So first of all, we are honored to do this, which I have to remind myself. But also, I was thinking, I go to the gym sometimes and I run on the treadmill, and I just had this visual, like, for me, I usually have to put like a towel over the thing that shows you how far you've run and how long and all that, because if I just stare at that, I will get so annoyed that I am on the treadmill that if I'm trying to finish a whole hour on the treadmill, I will stop, because every single second just feels so exhausting and annoying because I'm just watching the ticking thing. So I just felt like God spoke to me in that moment when I was working out, that standing is similar, because if all we do is focus on how we want our marriage restored, and we just keep that at the forefront of our mind, and all we do is stare at it, and then it's not happening, we get discouraged. And so something that God's been talking to me about is, when I'm on the treadmill, so that I can complete an hour, I'll put music in, I'll listen to different podcasts, I will watch a show, like I will do things, I'll look around the gym, like I'll do things to distract myself off of the immediate. And so I'm still running, I'm still getting it done, I'm just not so focused on it. And so before I know it, I look up and I've done my whole hour and I've completed the task and I can get off. So I felt like this is speaking to prodigals, to standards who are standing for people, and you're praying. Don't fixate so much every single exhausting day on that. I've been there, and it just is so draining and so discouraging when you don't see it coming to pass. So focus on something else. Like for me, I really like to serve other people and be kind of distracted by loving other people and staying busy with my call and my, loving God more and loving people more, and still praying for my husband, still praying for our marriage, still praying for the covering over his life and the direction of his life and for the miracle, but not making that my focus, because then I can do it longer. I'm not so fixated on, and I'm not so discouraged. So again, in my other videos, I have already shared, do not, please, and speaking to myself again, like we have to get our eyes off what we can see, what they're doing, their actions, whatever. Like we have to know what God has spoken to our heart and fix our eyes on him, and just fix our eyes on, my job is to be obedient to whatever I heard you tell me to do, not what everyone thinks about it, not even what they think about it, whoever we're praying for, but am I doing what God has spoken me to do? And if I am, then I can do this for the rest of my life if I have to. So I hope this encouraged you guys. And if you have any questions, comments, prayer requests, feel free to just comment below. And I am praying for you guys, for your marriages. Thank you so much for your comments, your encouragement, and just know that we are not in this battle alone, that God has called us, set us apart to be a part of this elite group. Keep the faith. Bye, guys.